Good morning, my students. My name is Sumaya Al-Badr. I'm an English teacher from Palestinian schools in Qatar. Today, I present for you the second lesson from Unit 9, page 90. The title of our lesson is Once Upon a Time. Okay, before I start my lesson, I will ask you a question. To make a quick revision for the previous lesson, what does a tale mean? A tale means a true narrative or story, especially one that is imaginatively recounted. Okay. What is dragon? Dragon is a monster like a giant reptile. Dragon is typically fire-breathing and tends to symbolize to evil, but in East Asia, it is usually a symbol of fertility, associated with water and the heavens. Look at the picture. This is a dragon. He's breathing fire from his mouth. Okay, now open your books, page 90. Look at the picture, please. I will read the question for you, then we will discuss them. The first question, what do you know about dragons? Number 2, how can fairy stories be more than true? Number 3, what do you think children can learn from hearing and reading stories? I will read the quotation for you. Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us that dragons can be beaten. Okay. Now, the first question, what do you think about dragons? I think it is non-real. Okay. I explained the dragons that he's a giant reptile. He is breathing fire from his mouth. Okay. And he has two symbols. For the first one is it's a symbol for, or it's symbolized for evil. The second one, it's symbolized for fertility or heaven. How can a fairy story be more than true? A fairy story, maybe it can be true if we learn something from this fairy stories. For example, if we learn how can we use our cleverness and solve our problems. Number 3, what do you think children can learn from hearing and reading stories? Also, in my opinion, if I read a story for my child, maybe he can learn, as I said, how can he use his cleverness to solve his problem? How can he become brave man, and so on. Okay, now let's move to the text. Read the text quickly and answer the question below. In this text, is this text a news story, an interview, an academic essay? I will read the text for you or the paragraph for you, then we will discuss them together. Highly intelligent stories. Some people worry that folk tales and fairy stories encourage children to believe things they can't happen in the real world. Please underline this sentence. The highly praised children's writer Gillian Paulson couldn't disagree more. Stories, she says, help to develop a child imagination. One of the main points of these stories, she explains, is that they don't happen in the real world. Once children have visited the other world's stories described, they are never quite the same. They learn to question the world they see around them and perhaps to change it. Okay, now I will read the question for you and you try to find the answers from the paragraph. The first question, why do people worry about folk tales? Number 2, what Gillian Paulson's point of view of reading stories to children? What is her opinion? What does pronouns refers to? Number 1, they, from line 4 number 2, 8 from line 6. Okay, take 2 minutes to find the answers, please. Okay, now let's do the first question. Why do people worry about folk tales? Because fairy stories encourage children to believe things that can't happen in the real world. Number 2, what is Gillian Paulson's point of view of reading stories to children? What is her opinion? Okay. She said that reading stories help to develop a child's imagination, and this is true. Yeah, I agree with her. Now let's go to the third question. What does the pronouns refer to? They refers to, yes, stories. It refers to the world around them. Okay, now take 2 minutes to check your answers, then we will continue. Now let's go to the second paragraph. Okay, she said she's not alone in this opinion. The great scientist Albert Einstein, he's a great scientist, by the way, he's a famous great scientist, once said, if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, underline this sentence, please, read them more fairy tales. Research has shown that children who grow up hearing and later reading stories are much more likely to get good exam results, not just language, but also in math and science. Okay, now I read the question for you. What is Albert Einstein's opinion about reading stories for children? Okay, take 1 minute to find the answer for this question. Okay, now Albert Einstein said, if you want your children to be more intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. So he supports Gillian Paulson's opinion. Okay, now let's go to the third paragraph. Okay, I will read the third paragraph for you, then try to answer the question. Gillian Paulson thinks the reason why children love fairy tales is quite simple. They just want to know what happens next. Folk tales or fairy stories are especially good for this because they don't normally have anything extra to get in the way. You don't need to know what the character is feeling or thinking, just what do next. So you can start your story with something like, once upon a time, there was a poor old woman who lived in a forest with her son, and that's it. You don't need to say where the forest was or why they were poor. They don't even need to have names. What they do, underline this sentence, what did they do, that's the only important part. So here in this paragraph, the writer said that our children don't care about what is the name of the character, why they're poor. They just care, or they just want to know what will happen next. Now I will read the question for you. Try to answer it. What is the reason that children love fairy tales? Okay, the reason for loving fairy tales for children is they just want to know what happens next. Okay, now let's go to the third question here. They, line 11, they here refer to what? Take 1 minute to find the answer. Okay, here they refer to children. Yes, refer to children. Now let's move to the last paragraph. Okay. Stories then are good for children. First by hearing them and later by reading them independently. We learned that language is for sharing ideas and having fun, but Gillian has a warning for parents. Underline this warning, this sentence. What is the warning for parents and teachers? Don't tell them that it's good for them, and certainly don't encourage them to read books that you think they should. Okay? We should not tell them that you should write, you should read this book. Okay? Just give him the choice. I will continue. There is no quicker way to make them not want to read. Okay, here in this sentence, the meaning of this sentence, and it's important sentence, that the writer tell or advise the parents and the teacher, don't tell your child or your student to read this story because it's better for you. Give him the choice to read what they want, what they like to read. Okay? Now let's go to the question. The first question: how are stories good for children? Number 2 here, them refer to what? Okay, take 1 minute to answer the questions. Okay. Now, number 1. How are stories good for children? First by hearing them and later by reading them. Number 2, them, line 18, refers to? Yes, to stories. Okay. Now, take 1 minute to check your answers. Now, let's go to the first question. Okay. Read the text quickly, then answer the question below. Is this text a news story, an interview, an academic essay? The answer will be yes. Yes, it is an academic essay. Now, check your answer, please. Now, we will move to the second exercise, page 91. Read the text again, then decide if the statements below are true or false. Write the sentence or part of sentence of the text that help you decide. I will read the first one. Gillian Toldson shares people's concerns that folk tales are not realistic. Number 2, she thinks stories only have small effect children. Number 3, stories teach children to enjoy language. Number 4, in these stories, action and events are more important than ideas and events. Number 5, children learn correct grammar from reading stories. The last one, number 6, parents should recommend good books for their children to read. Now let's take 2 minutes to find the answers and find a statement or the evidence which support your answer. Now, Okay, now number 1. Gillian Paulson shares people's concerns that folk tales are not realistic. True or false? I will see. Yes, it is false. The statement is Gillian Paulson couldn't disagree more. This is the evidence for my answer. Now, number 2, she thinks stories only have a small effect on children. We will see the answer. It is false. It is false. When children have visited the other world, stories describe they are never quite the same. Now, let's go to the number 3. Stories teach children to enjoy language. True or false? Yes, it is true. The evidence or the statement. We learn that language for sharing ideas and having fun. Number 4. In these stories, actions and events are more important than ideas and events. It is true. You don't need to know what character is feeling or thinking, just that they do what they do next. Number 5. Children learn correct grammar from reading stories. It is true. The statement is, now, research shown that children who grow up hearing and later reading stories is likely to get good result, the good exams result. Okay. I will read the statement again for you, okay, because research has shown that children who grow up hearing and later reading stories is likely to get good exams results. The last one, number 6, parents should recommend good books for their children to read. The answer is, it is false. And certainly don't encourage them to read books that you think books that you think they should to read. Okay. Now check your answers, please. Try to correct the mistakes. You have 2 minutes. Okay, my lovely student, we will go to the next exercise, exercise 4. What does words highlighted in the text refer to? Okay, now take 2 minutes to prepare this exercise. Okay, we'll go to the comprehension and try to find these pronouns refers to what. Okay, take 1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. Okay, number 1, they. Line 4, refer to stories. Yes, excellent boys and girls. Okay, number 2, it. Line 6 refers to the world around them. Number 3, they. Line 11 refers to children. Yes, children. And the last one, number 4, them, line 18, refers to stories. Excellent, excellent. Yes, take 2 minutes to check your answers, please, and try to correct the mistakes. Okay, now the last exercise is discussion. I want you to discuss it with your parents. Here we come to the end of my class. I hope you enjoyed with it. Okay, thank you for watching this lesson. I hope you understood everything. See you soon. Miss Sumaya Al-Badr from Palestinian schools in Qatar. Thank you very much.